Right, you lovely lot. We're on to another episode for the Sons of Behemat out there book. And today we're going over the grand strategies. So if you want to follow along, as normal, page 82, you can read along and follow what is being said here. So there's 4 grand strategies. Make the land tremble, Brod's revenge, on the warpath, show them who's boss. Kind of in the names. So, make the lands tremble. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if any friendly units ran or made a charge in every battle round. Bracket. It does not have to be the same unit that runs or makes a charge move in every battle round. So this was one that was added in for a white dwarf, but they've implemented it into the main battletome. Great. I really like this. Make the land tremble. Very straightforward. Now, if we move on to Brod's Revenge, funnily enough, this is a new one because of King Brod being a new model. You can only pick this grand strategy if your army includes King Brod, funnily enough. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if the friendly King Brod has not been slain, and you pick each of the 3 effects of the power of Behemat prayers to apply at least once during the battle. Now, I've written a bit of a blurby bit there, so you need to get his 3 prayers going off at least once with their effect in battle, and you need to keep him alive. Okay? Because the problem is, you're putting a huge bullseye on this one model. That's a lot. I like that he is being used in a grand strategy, because, you know, you can use his prayers and so on and so forth. But to stop you getting your grand strategy off, your opponent just needs to make a beeline for that mega-gargant. And if they're going against your army anyway, they know that they're going against mega-gargants, if that makes any sense. So, how do you screen them out? How do you protect them, and so on and so forth? And it just feels like you are potentially hamstrunging yourself, that you can't throw him into combat and, you know, risk him dying. Like, how safe do you play him? So it is a useful one, that you only need each prayer to go off once, or there to apply. So it needs to go off and apply to a unit, each one, and keep them alive. So it's an interesting one. I do like it. It's not so simple. You have to think about it. On the warpath, I really like this one, alright? When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if every friendly unit on the battlefield is within enemy territory. It's straightforward. Get into your enemy territory, even if you're tiptoeing. Okay? Even if you're tiptoeing and you get the edge of your base in, your units don't need to be wholly within the enemy territory, and they don't need to be at full strength. Now, there is a downside. What happens if you're trying to grab objectives and they're not in your they're in no man's land, or they're in your own territory? So this is going to be very much mission dependent on this one here. But I do like it on the warpath. You're just getting into the enemy's face, and you're just getting into their territory, and you just want to wreck. Alright? This one I do think is a little bit more forgiving than Brod's Revenge. But let's move on to the final one. Show them who's boss. At the start of the battle, the enemy unit with the highest wounds characteristic is marked as the Bigum. If there are multiple enemy units tied for the highest wounds characteristic, you can pick which of these will be the Bigum. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if the Bigum has been slain and the model chosen to be your general has not been slain. it's a glorified Slay the Warlord. But I like it because if you make your general, your mega-gargant or something like that, really quite durable and tanky, which I've shown in previous videos, you can do that to a certain extent. It doesn't state that the bigum needs to be slain by your general. It just needs to be slain. So I do like this one. Alright, I do like them. They're all nice. They're all very different. Alright? I do like them all. But my final thoughts is the one that you're pretty much always going to go to, unless it then gets